Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at using AI-generated videos, and we're going to be running them through a special process using my Sprite tool to create animation loops that you can use in your game. So here we have my character. I've already come up with a bunch of animations, some idle states, some walking, some running states, things like that. You will, of course, just start out with a single reference character image. I'm using the Sorceress game creation suite to come up with some character ideas. This one was generated with Seedream 4.5, which does a nice job of human pixel art characters. What I then did was I sent that on over into video generation, and I used Grok Imagine at the 1 and 2 second duration. Now, one little secret I found is that if you use Grok Imagine at 1 or 2 seconds, what you end up getting usually are these nice little animation loops. One problem I was having before when using, say, for example, Kling or even Grok Imagine from the Grok/Imagine official site is that you only had the option to do a 5-second video. And the problem with 5 seconds is it's too long. The AI video generation kind of gets confused on what to do with all the seconds after it's done with that sort of, initial animation loop. And so what you end up getting is, all sorts of randomness going on in your video when all you really want is that nice little repeating loop. So, secret little trick, 1 or 2 second duration with Grok Imagine makes a huge difference. Okay, so what we're going to do first is I'm actually going to grab this nice little walking cycle, for example. I'm going to send this on over to the Sprite system. You can, of course, upload a video from your computer. That's no problem, but I've built in this handy little way to send this on over from the video gen page into Sprite just for convenience. So the first step here is to grab our chroma key color and just chroma key out that green. Next up, we're going to adjust that tolerance level of the chroma key until we find something that's good. You can't go too far, of course, because then you will start to take out character detail. So you got to find something that looks pretty close. Now, the problem that I have encountered, and I think found a pretty good solution for, is this little green edge that is a remainder. If you go a little higher than this, I start to lose character detail. If I go a little lower, I've got this green edge from the remaining chroma key. That's why I built this Auto Edge Chroma tool. So have a close look. This is the remainder that we can't get rid of. When I apply Auto Edge Chroma, boom, we have nearly perfect results. So let me remove that. There we go. Put it back on. So we've got such a nice clean edge now with Auto Edge Chroma Key. And of course, just so you know, you can actually adjust all the configurations of Auto Edge Chroma Key. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but just start dialing around the sliders and tweaking stuff if you want to get even more specific results. The Auto Edge does its best to detect everything automatically and make it easy, but you can get into the weeds and manually configure stuff. I've also added in this nice little preview area where we can actually set a nice color background for our character and see how they would kind of look in game and with certain lighting and that sort of thing going on. So there's our character in game. I can do things over here like change the size and aspect ratio and the canvas basically for my character. How would it look at 96 pixels in a square? That's kind of how it would look. And then the sprite sheet frames are going to actually be sized to that when it's finally time to export. I'm going to make them bigger again so we can actually see anything that's going on. Additionally, over here, there is a new frame editing system where if you don't like frames, and of course you can click play to preview how your animation looks over here. And if you don't like frames, you can just simply delete them and see how your animation looks without them. You can zoom in and zoom in out on the animation frames. And then last but not least, I've added in, well, this was already in, but I'm going to show you the batch feature. So say you've got a bunch of videos that you want to do at the same time, a bunch of animations, right? They're all the same character and you don't want to have to necessarily do every single one at a time. Well, you can queue them all up and send them on over to Sprite. It'll look like it's sitting there for a sec, but then it'll load up the all of your videos over in here. And then what we can actually do is process all of those videos. And then just like before, we choose the chroma key color for what we want to apply to all of the videos. And we apply the Auto Edge again to all of the videos. And then we just have to click Apply Settings to All over here. And that will basically take our starting one that we've kind of programmed in the settings are and just apply it to every single video animation that we've got in our queue. Now, from here, we can download as a PNG zip or as sprite sheets. You can download individuals, you can download them all at once, or you can do what I'm going to do and send them all over into the next section, which is the Sprite Analyzer tool, which will help us to prepare these sprite sheets for gameplay animation. So now we have all of our sprite sheets loaded up over here in our Sprite Sheet Analyzer. As you can see, all of the frames have been detected, and we can actually even go through and choose if we want to which frames we might want to get out or leave in, and just get that animation loop kind of working however we want it to ultimately look. Once we are happy with all of our frame selection from all of our sheets, what we can do is scroll down to this multi-sheet code and just grab all of that and give that to our coding agent, and it will then know exactly how we want to set up all of the animations that we've kind of prepared. And here we have our character. We got walking, running, jumping, punching, kicking, ducking, blocking. We got all those things. Gentlemen and ladies, I hope you have enjoyed to look at the process that is available in the Sorceress Game Creation Suite. Today we have been taking a look at the Auto Sprite system, but the Sorceress Game Creation Suite comes with all sorts of different game development tools from a coding studio, which you can actually use for free. Just bring your own API key. We got image generation and video generation featuring some of the best models for game animation loop creation. We've got quick sprites over here, handy way to just create simple little sprites. We got seamless tile generation tools and our tile set builder over here, where you can kind of rough together tile sets. This is a bit of a beta feature. I'm working on the results, but it's kind of interesting. It's got some utility. And in addition to that, we've got our sprite analyzer, sound effects, image slicer tools, and a bunch of other handy such little things to make game development more easy. Don't forget to come and check out the Sorceress Arcade, where you can try out some of the games that are kind of prototyping. And not only that, I'll invite anyone to jump on over into the code suite, create a project, and you can go ahead and even publish your fun little play around project to our gameplay arcade, and test it out there and share it with friends, whatever the case may be. It's just for fun and prototyping. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Links and everything in the description as usual. All right.